Hi! So it's my birthday. I'm 24. And I've got a couple of exciting things to talk about, which is awesome. So summer tour starts next week for me, which I am super excited about. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I hope that everything turns out well. Another exciting thing that's happening is for the next 48 hours, depending on when you manage to see this video, I'm having a really quick little sale on laurenfairweather.storeenvy.com. And then I'm going to do my last mailing before I leave for summer tour. So if you want t-shirts or CDs or buttons or any of that stuff, it's your last chance to get it. It's also your first and potentially only chance to get my tiny owl plushies online. A lot of people have been asking me for those, and you don't have a whole lot of time on those because I was making them just to sell on the road. I'm gonna have these on sale at my merch table until they're gone, and for the next 48 hours until 11:59 p.m. Eastern on the night of June 2nd, which is tomorrow. So, on to the main point of this video. One of the things that I'm most excited about, and I know I'm a total nerd for loving this stuff, but I really like decorating my merch table on tour. For so long I just threw all the stuff that I had to sell out on the table, wrote up some price tags on like notebook paper, and that was it. And I got tired of looking at it, so I decided to make it pretty. I've been making some really cool stuff, so I'm gonna show you how I make some of my little price signs. This is what one of the finished ones look like. It's super cute. I'm going to have more detailed photos and explanations of how I'm doing this on my craft blog, which I recently redesigned. Yeah, so here we go. Little mini tutorial on my YouTube channel. So for this project, you're going to need a pencil, some kind of glue that works well with paper. I'm using Elmer's glue. I prefer liquid glue to a glue stick, mostly because when this dries, it'll kind of form an extra layer on the paper and make it stronger, so hopefully it won't get destroyed while I'm on the road. Some acrylic felt. This particular kind that I'm using has a peel-off adhesive on the back. You're gonna need something that's gonna hold the sign up. I'm using a wooden spool. Just need to peel this price tag off. Some kind of stick. I'm using a paper lollipop stick just because I like the way that the white looks. You could use a wooden dowel for this. And this felt is actually gonna go on the bottom of the spool so that the lollipop stick does not fall through. And then all you need is your sign. And this is something that you can print off of your computer. Basically just pick any shape you want. I got this one off of like a Google image search, add the text you want, and then you're gonna cut it out. Of course I picked a shape that's a little difficult to cut around, but maybe that's why I'm good at this stuff, because I always make it difficult for myself. It gives me lots of extra practice. This is actually cardstock, but it's still not very thick. You can see where I cut out a few of these already, but just go around with a pencil. This is also another reason why I like this little adhesive background, is I can draw on it. If you're drawing onto the felt itself and gluing it on separately, it's not quite so easy. And cut out your felt circle. Doesn't have to be terribly perfect. So if you are using the adhesive felt, and you could just pick that up at any craft store if you wanted to, I got mine like a sheet for 10 cents or something, then you're going to just stick it on the bottom, and super easy. If you didn't cut it perfectly, I mean, you could go all around the edges with your scissors. So this is the messy part. You're going to be gluing on the back of the sign, so make sure it is right side up. Kind of place your dowel or your lollipop stick or whatever you're using for the stick where you want it to go. And I'm just going to use a little bit of the extra paper scraps. I'm going to cut out 2 little strips, just kind of eyeballing it. And before you glue this, because this is going to roll, I find that it's easier if you kind of squeeze around the lollipop stick with the paper so that it forms the perfect shape it's going to need. So when you put the glue on it, you don't have to make as much of a mess as I'm about to. I think it might make a little bit less of a mess, which is always good. Put a little bit of glue on each side and a little bit in the middle, and then push it down. The thing about Elmer's glue is that it doesn't adhere right away like tacky glue does, for example. Hold it down for a couple seconds before you let go of it. It needs to dry for a few seconds. And then you can use more of your scrap paper to kind of get rid of the excess. You're going to do the exact same thing for the other little piece. And this one should be a little bit easier because the stick is kind of secured by the first one. And it's slippery, so I'm holding it down. And it's okay if it looks a little messy because it's on the back, and also this kind of glue dries clear. And that is basically it. That's what the back looks like when it's wet. And there's the front. And I think it's gonna be super cute. I'm gonna let this dry overnight just to make sure that it's really, really dry before it touches anything else. But once yours is all dry, just stick it into the spool. And if there's a little bit of adhesive on your felt, it will actually stick, which is nice because it won't fall out. Really just get creative with these. I mean, you don't have to use them for your merch table as a price tag sign. You can make it into a weird holiday card or use it as a decoration in your room or anything really. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that I get to see you when I go on tour starting next week. Check the video description for links to all the things that I mentioned in this video that you might be interested in checking out. And yeah.